Hello and welcome to week 3 of the Hell Let Loose Premier League. My name is Heathen Hammer, and today we are joined by a special guest. First time appearance on the casting desk with me is Warhog. Welcome, Warhog. How are you doing today, buddy?
I'm doing excellent today, Ethan. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, so today we got an interesting matchup. Carrington between BST2 ES from Spain, 501. Also, it's a combo team there, and Sturm Elite from Brazil. What are you expecting from this match on Carrington today?
Oh, Carrington being in an urban environment, having armored support really it comes down to infantry fighting. Armor can only support so much, unlike something like Kursk where they just own it.
Mm.
Um, it's going to be some down and dirty gunfights, and that's the kind of gaming I like to see. Player versus player, just getting down to it. Flanking from the north in the church. Town center is going to be a bloodbath. I can't wait.
Oh yeah, it has been. So far we've been lucky. We've got three town centers in a row, I believe, so far this weekend, including one that was as a re-roll. So we're really lucky there. What do you think the impact of artillery is going to be? Do the buildings lessen the impact of artillery at all, or do you think they can, you know, exude their force on the match for their teams?
Artillery is going to be key, but at the same time, artillery with the delay inside of an urban environment, you have the potential to kill friendlies because the gunfights are going to be so up and close. So
Okay.
artillery is really going to have to take their time and make some key shots, which at the same time, guys can't get pinned down because they have to realize that artillery is going to come for them if they
Mm.
try and just get pinned down in one spot. It's going to be a constant flanking maneuver and a lot of communication going on.
Yeah, we've seen that recently in the last games that we've had. One of the key points for some of the teams, especially the Americans, has been getting the cathedral. Do you think that if it is town center as the center part, do you think the cathedral is an important place to hold as infantry?
Personally, I do not. I think the cathedral around that, sure, you have the sniper tower. Their overlook is it doesn't really look into town center.
Mm.
I would be more focused on the southern area where you are able to flank around town center and start working your way. Um, but if they are going to be fighting over the church, it's not the cap zone, so it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out.
Okay, yeah, and actually, that's what we've seen so far this weekend. The team, especially the American team, has gone for church consistently, and it hasn't really given them an advantage. And in the last game, we had PKKA doing that exact move, and they actually got cut off on the south with no garrisons, no outposts on the south, and were slowly flanked around and enveloped in a pocket and just taken right off the point. And the church didn't work out well for them. So, yeah. Are you? Yeah. So, do you know anything about these teams here? We got Sturm Elite and BST2. Have you guys played? Have you played against any of their members before? Um,
I actually have not. I do
okay.
not know much about these teams. I know one's a Spanish speaking team, which we just found out means the damn bastards, which is it's a pretty awesome name. Um, and I think they're gonna have two different play styles. I've noticed that different countries from around the world tend to play um, differently. I played against China one time, and
Mm.
it was just waves and waves of bodies going straight for the point. Um,
That
you don't say
sounds
what you want
it's
about that.
historically accurate, I guess. I mean,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
no. So what I've seen from last week from BTS2 and Sturm Elite is they do have very aggressive tanks. So I don't know if that's really going to play a part in this game in this urban environment. But they're very aggressive with their armor, especially BTS2. Also, really loves to get recon tanks just right up into the middle of the action. So we'll see if they do that on the first point here after flip.
Yeah, especially with those streets and the way they can get bogged down with the different obstacles in the way.
Mm.
They could play it tank heavy, but I don't think it's going to work out in their favor, especially in terms of points. Um, Having those tanks cost 400, 200, 150 fuel.
Yeah.
I would be more focused on getting supply trucks up to the key zones. Um, I know fortifications hasn't been a big thing that I've seen in some of these games.
Mhm.
It seems to only be in pub matches. Um,
Well,
and I,
actually, we've seen one team in particular, that is BR1TL Redline, have used fortifications on their artillery, actually. to defend against any recon tanks that might come, or any scout snipers that might come and try and disturb them. They actually built just a ton of fortifications there. I guess running one supply truck back and forth 10 times from the repair crane, and built up a massive fortification to try and stop recon. Do you think that's a good tactic? Do you think any of these teams should invest in that?
Um, on the American side, the west side, left side of the map, their
Mm,
artillery is out in the open, and there are a lot of good sniper spots to set up and shoot at them, which can pin them down. On the right side of the map, they have the train tracks that kind of block their southern flank,
yeah,
and I haven't seen personally the ability to really pin them down using recon over there, just due to the terrain. But yeah, the Americans building fortifications up to block the artillery. That sounds like a great idea. Um,
yeah. We'll see
yep.
if they do try it out in this match. Yeah, so looks like, guys, we are just moments away waiting for word from, I believe, both teams' captains to say that they are good to flip the map, and then we'll be right into the action here. All right. So what we've seen from this weekend in the games, we've seen an emphasis on the very good teams sending a lot, probably almost all their team to that middle cap. Do you expect to see that again, or do you think that it might be a better strategy to only send, like two tanks and then two squads, and have some kind of flanking maneuver with the other squad?
I think in the urban environment, it's important to get to that cap zone, flood it, and set up fire superiority, not to get pinned down by the enemy. Um, Winning through fire superiority is almost one of the go-to tactics of modern warfare in itself. That uh, you need to keep the enemy pinned down, keep them guessing, and sure they can continue to hit you from the front. But yeah, flanking in the city is going to be not as key as you see sometimes in the forest. There's only so many places you can come through. So it's if you're smart about it, you can assign a squad. Hey, North Road, East Road, South Road,
Hmm.
versus the forest. I mean, sometimes you don't know where they're going to come from, and they can sneak up in the forest too. You can't do that too much in the busy streets.
Well, one of the crazy things we actually saw in Herc and Force, and I believe it was BST2. I could be wrong on this one, but I remember them distinctly moving out and going through the middle trees and having like a preset path that just they were playing on the United States side, and they beat midpoint. They beat the axis to midpoint going through the forest. But like you said, in Carrington, there's no forest to go through, so it's going to be straight down those middle streets.
Yeah, it's going to be some Call of Duty maps right there. I'm going to see some 360 no scopes coming down those center lines. Um, but if they do a combined assault with their armor, I could see that being extremely effective as well. If you keep the tanks armor pointed front with infantry on the sides to protect against rockets, that could be a force to be reckoned with too.
Yeah, we actually, that's one thing we haven't seen enough of. I'd love to see more combined arms gameplay where the tanks are working with the infantry a little more effectively. Recently, even with the top teams, we've seen like Panther tanks yeeting themselves in there alone and just getting destroyed. So it'd be nice to see some of that combined arms gameplay from this game, as it does look like we are still waiting to hear from the team captains to flip the map. Running a little late here. Apologize for that. So you said you were looking forward to gunplay the most, and definitely on this map that provides that. Do you think one team has an advantage over the other in terms of their weapons loadout, whether it be German or U.S.? Is there anything like there in your mind on that?
the the German MG gunners having that high rate of fire, being able to lock down those streets is a definite advantage. Um,
Okay.
the Americans, trying to think of, I mean, they have the Thompson submachine gun, but the Germans have the MP40. It's
The
going to be
Americans
a
have the
lot
bar
of
though. But the bar is actually something that was very effective in some isolation views we saw yesterday. I believe it was like a 2v1 on a garrison, and it was a key play where the American was able to take out everyone that spawned in just with that the bar and the magazine size. So could be something to watch out for this game.
yeah, it will be. s- putting where your supply drops are going to go too for your flanking is going to be huge. So I wonder what the commander and his general focus is going to be as
Mm.
far as garrison placement, where he wants to waste. I say waste his bombing runs, but to do his
It's
bombing
appropriate.
runs and
It's
yeah,
appropriate. You say wasted bombing runs. honestly, I can't remember the last time in this league when a bombing run was super effective. The last 5 or 6 bombing runs, 2, 3 kills apiece, not really destroying any garrisons or armor or halting a big push. So that's actually really really true there. Is there anything else you're looking for other than that?
Y- Um, Once they're off town center, now you have a big decision as a commander. Do we try and hold this and lock it down,
Yeah.
or do we let some of our forces leave and move to the next point? Um, and that's kind of the I think it's almost like waves. Once you defeat the first wave of enemies and get some garrisons, that's when I would push the attack. If you push the attack too early after capping it, a lot of times I'll see that cap point just fall back into the enemy hands because they didn't eliminate that wave of enemies. They didn't eliminate the enemy garrisons. Instead, they went for the cap instead of going for the point of where the enemies are coming from.
Yeah, we
Um,
actually saw that yesterday with the 38th Infantry. And if you guys are interested, you go back and watch the VOD in PKKA. What PKKA did is they did that weird, they rushed the point with one squad, which wasn't enough, but they were effective. There was an effective squad. They were able to outkill the other team and establish a presence on point in town center. However, the majority of their team went around north to the church, and that wasn't very effective. And what ended up happening is, like I said earlier, they got outflanked on the south. They lost their spawns. 38th moved in, took that southern part, and especially those important southern buildings on town center, and was able actually with a really nice satchel play to clear out everybody from PKKA in the northern house on that corner there. And after
yep.
that was done, it was a gunfight. It was a 1v1 over the garrison. PKK had lost, and it was over for them. They lost the midpoint.
Yeah, that's why I was talking about that southern point. Sure, the church is sexy. It's a big cathedral. If that was the cap zone, I'd say that's where you go for. But
Mhm.
it not being the cap zone and not really having a huge strategic advantage, something like different hills would play out in Hurtgen Forest with the different bunkers. Sure, those have overlook points that you need, but I don't know. I think the church is a waste of time.
Yeah, and it seems like from what we've seen so far this week from the action in Carrington that it definitely is. Let's talk about some other points other than the town center. Even though we always get town center, are there any other points that maybe have an advantage to either team, either on the north or the south of the map?
Um, Railroad crossing, I believe, is it's that can go either way. You can set up some good garrisons, and you can have a small force defend that point. But if the enemy team's smart or they have better tactics, they can find different ways into that railroad crossing where you kind of get jumped before you have a chance to react and push them back. Once they're in there, they're in there like termites, and it's really hard to weed them out. It's really hard to say that it's clear. When you're clearing out a cap zone. Let's take, for instance, in Hurtgen Forest North Pass. You can tell when that area is clear. Like you stand up, you look around, nobody's shooting at you. All right, looks like we fought off that wave, but you're gonna see a lot of sneaky tactics, and I think it's gonna be really interesting to see, especially when you see um, two guys wanting to kill each other only 5 feet apart inside the same house, and you're just waiting for that situation to develop.
Yeah, that's true. Do airheads play any role in this game? Because in last week two's action, we saw a lot of really nice airheads. With the buildings, are you able to drop airheads, or is it too easy to figure out where they are and take them out?
With the buildings obstructing squad members' views of being able to simply look out and say, "Hey, airheads coming down 1,000 feet away," you can't do that inside the city. The buildings are blocking you unless you're way out in the open where you can watch the airplane go overhead. And then when you do see it, it's not as simple as sending a recon vehicle out to try and go get it. That recon vehicle's got to swerve its way through the city and then try and figure out kind of where it may have gone down. Um, versus something like in a giant open area, being able to find it. So I think airheads are, yeah, that's a great point. Those are going to play a huge role.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we didn't see any airheads yesterday or the day before from that action, but I'm hoping we do see some because they can really shift the tide of battle here. Again, guys, we're just waiting for the map to flip, and then we'll be able to get into game here. as it looks like both teams are in the server and ready to go. Is there anything you want to see more than gunplay, or is it just the gunplay? You looking for some good flanks, some recon action in the back end? What do you love to see about Hella Loose? What's your favorite
I
thing?
love to see some great placed satchels. When I'm running in Hell Let Loose and I can bring up a satchel with me, and I have that one opportunity that I'm able to maybe lay down on my belly, crawl in, put it down on a 30-second timer, and get out, and then watch the carnage that unfolds from that.
Yeah.
That's what makes Hell Let Loose and the grinding and the pain and the running all worth it when you get that one like kaboom, baby. Yeah. Little lots of kabooms are going to be happening. Yeah,
So we
this
did
is
see
definitely
that
my future
yesterday.
map.
From the other team's perspective, though, is it easy to see a satchel? Because we had three or four guys in the heat of the action jump over it, or one guy actually standing on top of it when it blew up, without a care in the world.
Yeah, not in the city. There's too much that your eye is attracted to. It's looking at windows. It's looking down roadways. Um, it's not just a giant dirt field with some trees in it. It's there's so much going on that I don't think your mind is necessarily trying to pay attention to the luminous satchel with its little red tiny marker.
Yeah, that's true. It's hard to spot out there. I guess from when we're casting, we have the bird's eye view and we can see everything that's happening. But when those guys are in battles in the heat of the moment, all they're focused on is the bullets flying around their heads and who they're shooting at. So it can be easy to miss. But that was a beautiful one. You got to go back and see that one because it killed about 10 guys, cleared a complete garrison off.
Yeah, I also want to see some MG gunners getting into good spots and just locking down corridors of approach.
Yeah, we didn't see too much of that. We did see some mobile MG action actually, though, and surprising. I don't know if this is historically accurate, but it's surprising how accurate it is from the hip. Like it's crazy in this game how you can be Terminator with the MG42, just absolutely bossing
I do not think that would be historically accurate. Trying to control a
it.
recoil on an MG42, I'm looking it up right now. It has a 250 round belt, muzzle velocity 740 meters per second, rate of fire 1,200 rounds a minute. Trying to control that weapon as it's shooting, I mean, maybe Arnold Schwarzenegger could do it, but a German who's narrowly in starvation, fighting over quarantine,
Mm.
uh,
It's
it's some.
a little impossible. Yeah. Do you think that's something they should change about the game, or do you think that's just a part of gameplay that makes it fun? Do you think um, MGs would be too weak if it wasn't for that aspect, the fact that they can take it and kind of be really effective in close quarters?
I do like the fact that they're really effective in close quarters. If they were to move that, I think they would maybe make their machine gun belt smaller so that the gun wouldn't weigh 50 pounds in your arms. Um, this way, yeah, you'd have those hip fire bursts, but it wouldn't last for what feels like an eternity when you're the enemy team taking that fire from that guy. Going full Terminator with basically a minigun. Yeah, the gun itself without ammo weighs 25 pounds.
Yeah, that's pretty heavy. It's a wonder that they can sprint, or I guess there is no sprinting, but move quickly, walk quickly in game while remaining accurate with the gun.
Yeah, and they also don't simulate barrels overheating. Um, that would be another issue you would run into. But it is fun. It is a good tactic. But for the people that want to get back to the realism, I would like to see if you build a full bunker, maybe having an emplaced weapon would be a fun tactic as well.
That would be nice. I would love to see that. I'd actually love to see half tracks too. I think that's one of the things that's overlooked so much is the ability, the inability in this game right now to transport through artillery with which what the half track was intended for. Right? There's no cover on the top. It's intended so you could get through that arty barrage and get your infantry safely. Into the fight. Do you think that would be a good addition to the game? Do you think that's something that they should add to the game?
I believe having the half track, having a slower speed but armor, and then having an American Jeep that's less armored but is fast and maybe carries a 30 cal on top would be a great trade off and balance. You could see how speed is effective, but you don't have as much security uh, versus less speed, but having that armor. Where if a Jeep and a half track ran into each other head on, the Jeep would probably lose the battle, not being able to hit the half track.
Yeah. No, it would
But then in
definitely
typical
change the
American
game
fashion,
drastically too.
yeah, being able to flank around that half track with your speed would be a game changer.
Oh,
But
I can't wait. I would love to
yeah,
see my War Thunder brain's going crazy right now, thinking of all the crazy half tracks that like the Nubelwerfer half track or the mobile artillery, the Katusha rocket, I believe it is, like
yeah.
stuff like that. Do you think now? But we couldn't have that in the game because that would just replace the artillery, right?
Um, the I believe the artillery shells would be probably the effective range would be smaller. Your ammo count inside of the vehicle itself, I don't believe would be too large, so you could get to a strategic position and set up. Um, but now what's the advantage of putting that vehicle out there that costs a lot of points that can only carry 15 to 20 rounds? You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I'd love to see it personally. I don't know if that's what we're gonna get, unfortunately.
The Jeep and the half track thing too. What would keep someone from running around in that Jeep almost like an R3 in War Thunder where they're just spraying everything as they're going 50 miles an hour? What they would need to do is when the gunner's in the back of the vehicle and that vehicle is moving, to have that weapon bounce around like nothing else. Because it is not a stable platform to shoot from when a Jeep
Mm.
is driving over rough terrain.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But it would add such a crazy element to the game for like recon gameplay. Could you imagine your mobility if you had a Jeep with a 30 cal? How more effective that squad would be?
Yes, and me when I love playing commander in this game, and the one thing I've always wanted was a jeep so that I can move around the map and set up garrisons. Instead of a transport truck is too big, too slow, um, and I can't rely on anyone else to really drive me around to set up those garrisons. So it would be a nice element. Oh, you could give the Germans the motorcycle with the sidecar. That would be You could make some meme gameplay from that. Having a
Oh my
Panzerfaust
god.
in a sidecar and a
Uh,
motorcycle.
all right, we're getting a little. This is like battlefield level ridiculous, though.
Yeah,
Come on now.
I know.
That's like the Samir Cornet from Squad. It's such a meme tier vehicle. So small, but it's so powerful.
Shooting a Panzerfaust from a moving motorcycle. I don't think that's something they tried.
All right, as it does look like we are about to start the game, folks. Thank you for waiting. Apologies for waiting. It's been a little bit of a wait here, and apologies to my new partner Warhog for having to go through that. But it looks like we are about to flip, and we'll be on the Axis side um, as we go forward here. As we are just flipping. See if we can get on that other side for you. All right. Welcome back, everyone. We have an amazing cap point, and no, it is not City Center. We have train station over here for the midpoint. What do you think about this, Warhog?
Love it, hate it. It's in the game. You're going to see people fighting in the north through the city. You're going to see them fighting in the south around those hills, trying to get control. And then overall, that middle train station area provides a lot of good cover. You can see down there the wall that surrounds the south and the train cars to the north. This is going to be great. And uh, armor is going to be key as well, holding down some avenues of approach.
Yep, as we got 30 seconds to go, we can see the move out here from both teams, or from one team, sorry about that. Looks like we have a couple supply or transport trucks coming down the mid with a tank. And oh no, did he get stuck? Oh, hopefully
He
the
got it
commander,
stuck.
hopefully, oh no, that's gonna be massive. That's a huge blow already. Yeah, as another supply truck has been spawned in at main, and it looks like the commander is going to be delayed that initial garrison. Oh no! What are the implications of that for
Uh,
BTS2, BST2?
to me, as a squad leader, that wouldn't matter to me. I would make sure somebody in my squad is a supply guy, and we will build garrisons without him. We don't
Yeah,
need those supplies just yet. Um, it's not like getting a transport truck stuck with all your guys in the back, and now everybody's out on foot.
yeah.
Hopefully, they didn't do that. It is
No, from the
possible on the
map,
German
it did
side,
not
though.
look like they did that, but it also doesn't look like they're pushing anybody directly into point here from BST2. So it'll be exciting to see what SEVH is doing on their move out here. If you pan to the left side, I don't see anybody from either team. Oh, as we do have what looks like a Sherman coming in with a convoy and a Greyhound, right to the middle point. So it's going to be 2 versus 1 on point here at train station very shortly in terms of armor. I do not see any supply trucks already yet from SEVH though, as we do see some cap progress though. Oh, there we go. There's
Ooh,
the
here
supply
we
truck right
go.
onto point.
Rolling down Main Street, and we have another truck up there to the north,
Yep.
to
Oh,
the
there we go. Already
top
got
right of
cap
your screen.
progress coming in from.
Cap progress. We got 2 transport trucks. Guys jumping out.
This is gonna be a huge fight right here.
Yeah, it is.
As it looks like the Panther and that Sherman are fighting straight down the rail crossing with infantry fighting in between. Not one clear winner yet, as we do see on the south side here, SEVH in force, 2 squads versus each other down here with BST2.
Oh, just like I said, they're going to be fighting on the south. They're going to be fighting in the north, and they're going to be fighting over. It's a lot of different key points to try and fight over, but it's going to be good gunplay. One building separates them right now, and a large tree. They're going to be throwing grenades over left and right.
Crucially though, SEVH is making considerable cap progress over here on the south.
And he's down. That was a good move by him, but there's too many of them.
Looks like a grenade's gonna go out and kill a bunch over here on the south, with Franimal going down after.
SEVH is doing a good job not staying too bunched up, but still staying in one fighting unit and not getting spread out across the map.
Yeah, so it looks like actually advantage BST2 though on the north side. They're making gains and they are actually decapping here from SEVH. The north side was completely taken by BST2, and now they're going on the south and slowly but surely pushing back here towards this outpost of SEVH.
How's that Sherman Panther battle going down? Those 2 guys still alive?
Let's take a look real quick. We can see Panther is looks like it is fried. Yeah, the Panther's down over here, completely done. The Sherman on the other hand, it looks like he's still up. Maybe repairing there also.
Sherman versus Panther. Sherman takes the first one. All right.
That's an interesting win there. I don't know if it's the most historically accurate, but hey.
A 75 versus a Panther? Yeah, I don't know. I'd
So
like
what
to
do
know
you think
where he
about this
aimed.
here? We have, looks like 501ES has got between SEVH, and they are now split on the north and the south side with very few members of SEVH still left up on the south side of train station.
They are controlling that center cap point. Um, that center cap point provides a lot of good defenses with the train cars to the north, the right side of the screen, and that the Great Wall of China over there to the west. It's hard to get in there without pushing straight through and getting mowed down.
Yeah, for sure. What do you think SEVH should do in this position here where they're kind of surrounded on either side and don't have too much pressure on the middle of the point? Do they need to do something specific, or do they just need to win their gun battles here?
I think they need to set up a good front line, get people not pushing yet. Just get your good base of fire and reconsolidate your guys. Make sure you have your garrisons up. Make sure squad leaders have their OPs up, and then create one flanking element. Don't try and hit them from the north and the south. Create a good base of fire and one good flank and get in there. Um, Personally, I would try and push them from the north and come out of those buildings
Yeah, from the
versus the
north.
open area.
That actually looks like their best option right now, as the south has one man left up in a small outpost. They're completely surrounded on the south there. However, they do have some presence back on their side to the west and a little bit on the north here. We'll see if they're able to capitalize off of that. From looking at the perspective of 501ES BST2, the team now almost in possession with more than 50% cap progress. What should they do to kind of solidify their grasp on the point here?
Well, we have those guys to the south up on that hill. I believe that's going to be their flanking element that's going to make a move in the next cap point. And then for the rest of them, just clear out train station, get into some good defensive posture, and prepare for the second wave. It seems like their first wave has kind of been defeated. SEVH.
Yeah, as we can see an outpost from the beard, he has just spotted out an outpost there. So Napalm better frag well, because that's going to be under pressure really soon.
Oh, Beard is down.
Yeah, he is, but he has got members of his team behind him. Look at that, full squad on the flank there, ready to react to that outpost. However, there isn't really an easy access to it. You do have to come all the way around the point to actually access this outpost. So that's a really good spot for it and a relatively safe place for SEVH.
501 is controlling that
Oh.
hill.
So looking
I
at the
look.
map here, you can see a sneaky garrison on the north side and another one probably going to be set up here by one of the... Oh, that is not the commander. I was expecting the commander to be there as we hear... I believe, yep, that's the Sherman going down right below us there. So what do you think he's doing with that supply truck there? Getting a garrison on the backside, or...
That garrison's going to be good for both those cap points. That's going to be, like I said, if you looked at the map again, you can see what almost just looks like a line of blue dots.
Yeah,
That's what you want
that's
right
a
there.
beautiful, beautiful
That is a beautiful
defensive
front.
line.
Exactly. That's it. Rule number one of this game is always look cool. And when your line looks that cool, going straight down, you're like, all right, so this is good.
Crucially,
I
we
don't.
do have one member of BST2 on the backside here. If he can get around on this backside, he'll be able to do some work, but we do have some recon actually defending here too, so we'll see if they stay there to defend, because if Johnny gets behind them, or Johan gets behind them, then SEVH is going to be in trouble.
I'm waiting to see who uses the first bombing run. If they did a bombing run north to south, right in front of their line, if the 501 did it,
Yeah. Oh, it would kill everybody on the attack.
yeah, it would. Strafing run.
Yeah, not very effective, only getting one member of BST2 there, 501, so... I've also noticed
No,
some commanders be a little hesitant to do bombing runs, and when they do them, it's almost too late and it hits nobody. So hopefully that doesn't happen. As we do see artillery coming down in the same spot, I believe they think there's a garrison down there. Well, they've hit it enough times it wouldn't be there if it was anymore. there anything else you're seeing from this map right now? I just see a solid domination on the midpoint from BST2. Oh, as you said, here comes the bombing run. Not very effective at all. Only taking out 2 members of BST2.
I don't know why he put it that far east. He could have put it right on his front line and taken those guys out that were.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. That seems to be a trend as we see another bombing run coming in from 501ES, and again, maybe 1 or 2 members dropped from SEVH. Not very effective.
That was an east to west variant, you know?
Yeah. So what I'm seeing right now is I'm seeing SEVH trying to set up a defensive line, and it's not looking too bad, but that middle of it, and I know it is the rail track, so it's hard to have people there, but that middle looks exposed. If 501 could bring up some tanks and maybe really make good to that combined infantry armor gameplay, they might be able to punch a hole in the middle.
Ooh, check out that.
However, look at this. We got Napalm, the squad lead, coming in behind. Now he's 3v1. Should he be engaging this? If I was him, I'd be wanting to get off the point and get an OP up so my guys could attack and spawn in.
Yeah, that is not the squad leader's job right there, to be by himself.
Yeah.
Getting in gunfights.
Almost seems like a waste. If he could have snuck in this backside, I mean, who knows? He might have been able to get something up, especially in that courtyard there in the middle, and have an attacking OP rather close to point. Fortunately for him, that is not the case. All right, so we do have a Tiger pushing up the middle from 501ES. I guess they heard what I was saying and they are feeling it. Possibly trying to punch straight through the middle here and get a hole in the line of
if
SEVH.
that Tiger continues just to go straight up that railroad crossing, he is going to get pincered by SEVH.
Yeah, but crucially, I don't see any anti-arm and I don't see any anti-tank. We got Mosquafall on the right side there. That's the only AT I can really see that might have an impact on this Tiger. Let's take another look at the map.
Here we go.
Quickly.
Here we go. We have that garrison that they set up.
We got a garrison on the back side of a derailed train. We're gonna swarm over there really quick. Uh-oh, and I do not see many people up from SEVH. We got 2-3 people now. We do have a Sherman pushing in, but should he be pushing at this point? Should he be falling back to deal with this? Because one member of SEVH has gone down, so they must know that this is coming.
That Sherman needs to go prosecute that threat right now. He needs to get set up in a good position, possibly to the south, and use, his ability to shoot long range to his advantage.
We got Ridditz taking out 1, pushing the point right now.
Ooh, check that guy out.
But he's getting smoked from behind, possibly a second.
Here he goes. He's going to turn the corner, and that's it.
Yeah, I don't know what he was thinking around that corner. He was not ready for a gunfight. Although Insomniac is in a great spot to cover here. Up on that 2-story there, so.
Yeah.
Look at that machine gun position, though. He is being suppressed pretty heavily now already. Though I think they will know where that garrison spawn is. I believe it's a garrison. Let's have a look. Could be an outpost.
I believe from the map view, it was the garrison that they set up, and I could see their supply truck.
No, I was actually referencing a defensive garrison, possibly, but it doesn't look like there is one there. Yep, as we have BST2 continue to push in, and initially the defense seems to be working from SEVH here.
Trying to figure out what those guys over there in the, so if you look in the top left of the screen.
Yeah, it looks like that might be where their garrison is, but we do have a Sherman coming in. That's going to get spotted out by Riddix very soon. If he's a little quicker, he'll be able to hit it from behind. Let's see if he can.
Oh, he's running. Check him out. Let's go watch him. He's running. I know this.
He's running, but he's got the MP40. He doesn't have the car, so he'll be running for a little bit to get up to the back of him. We'll see what he can do, though. Crucially, though, Dixon is looking north, so he's going to get fragged, Riddix, if he's not careful here. He's going to run straight. Oh, he doesn't see him.
Here we go.
Oh, and he gets taken out by the MP40 crucially at the wrong moment.
This guy's got to be feeling like a Rambo right now. Oh.
And those guys you questioned on the right side, Rodrigo's squad lead there was able to take him out crucially.
They were heads up, saw him, saved the Sherman's life. Sherman doesn't even know it.
No, he has no clue. Like usual, tankers. Absolutely no clue what's going on. No, it's okay, but yes, SCVH is doing well, but I'm really worried about this push. See, if they got a couple more bodies and one more squad on the attack, this is over.
If you're going to attack, commit. Once you have that defensive line they had set up, you didn't need that many um, guys continuously to hold defense. You have the
No,
surprise on them, go for it. You know,
'cause we got Duel here holding a corner. He's about to run into the squad that's respawning. And also, I've noticed that BST2 is doing kind of a weird trickle-in attack. They're not grouping up and going in together.
from what we saw, they could have had that cap point if they had assigned 2 or 3 squads.
Oh, we got a sneaky little mine there as Duel is pushing in for the defense. However, doesn't seem to be squad comms because Bysar has no idea. He's just killed his teammate there and he gets shot in the back.
That's one
Absolutely
down.
no idea. I don't know what's going on with the comms on SEVH, but they need to
Duel's
fix
about
that.
to get shot in the back.
Yeah. And SEVH has no idea that they're here. Seems like it's just a waiting game right now.
Here we go. This is what I was talking about. Guys can be 5 feet apart from each other and not know it.
Yep. As artillery comes in and does some damage on point, but we do have members, look, pushing up the middle of BST2, 1 or 2 guys, but that's enough to give a little cap progress. Like I said, that center's open right now. There's that defensive line that SEVH had is gone. It has collapsed.
I wonder if that Tiger tank is purely defensive, or is he driving up the middle right now?
He's coming up with his guys. That south line of SEVH has completely collapsed. What we were saying earlier was a great line is no longer there. And that's just allowing BST2 to push straight up the middle right onto DRL train. What can SEVH do here though? It's open, it's exposed. They can't just go across the tracks. They'll get gunned down with machine guns like we just saw there in the middle. What can they do? Do they have to put a smoke screen up? Or?
I believe they need to reconsolidate their forces.
Yeah.
The guys who were still trickling in on that front end fighting, they need to come back. They need to get back to point or they're going to lose it.
Yeah.
And here we go. We have a fighting force to the north and to the south. SEVH, if they push, they can push them off the point.
But how though? They have to contend with Tiger tanks, multiple infantry camping that main railroad, like Portal AJ on the left side there, camping, throwing nades. Oh my God! As a nade takes out 3 or 4 members, you know, and then he's pushing. That aggressiveness too is getting rewarded.
This is it. Now they're in that key point with the factory right there and the 4 walls surrounding it.
And they're making cap progress slowly too. They are making cap progress, about 15% now. As we can see, the only garrison for SEVH is crucially on the wrong side of the train tracks and is too far away to make a difference.
Not only that, it's on the wrong side of the train tracks. But then you also have that once you spawn on that garrison, you have nowhere to go. It's an open field.
So
I only see that in pub matches.
I don't know, man. This is looking bad for SEVH. Their defensive line on the south has crumbled, and BST2 is pushing through. And I don't know what this Sherman tank is doing. He's going for a head-on. With
Sherman
no infantry support.
Does he got a little bit of ego going on right now? Oh, here we go. 1v1.
Oh, and he wins.
76.
Sherman wins, but he is alone out here. And they're... Unfortunately for SEVH, I think they need to get on comms and tell these guys back here to escape and redeploy. Because they are about to lose this second last point here. And, you know, the members that are out and not on this point are doing nothing for the team.
You know, and I mostly play armor, and that sometimes just comes down to the commander telling his armor, hey, I need you over here. Otherwise, armor's going to go do what it tries to do, and that's get frags. Armor's out there to try and kill stuff.
As
so I'm going to continue
we do have
to kill
one member of SEVH on point, but he's not really doing anything. He's kind of just camping there, so he's making no effect on the cap progress at all.
No. Now here's where I'm trying to think right now if satchels could help out. No, it seems
not really. It's open ground. There isn't really any buildings they could satchel. And like you said, look at this SEVH pushing into an open field and getting absolutely decimated. No cover, nowhere to go.
When you're on your belly crawling across the train track, few decisions have been made that put you in the situation that were the wrong decision.
As we see Farrier chasing the Sherman, let's get on board with him right now. He's running with a
Oh, this
satchel,
is
and that
great.
Sherman is running for his life.
Oh,
He's
this is
got two
great.
two satchels running for him
He's
right
gonna beat
now.
him to it. He's gonna beat him to it.
Oh no, Rico 85.
My tank. No, my tank.
No, my tank.
Mine.
Yep. First satchel goes down.
Oh.
Rico gets exploded. Farrier's still got the satchel in his hand. Can he put it down in time? Oh, he's
This is
about
great.
to die. No, Farrier. And too bad for Farrier.
Let's watch
Farrier
that tank
goes down,
explode.
but this tank is probably going to explode right now.
He's gonna drive into
the
his
garrison.
friendlies and blow up his buddies.
As he goes down.
Oh.
Beautiful satchel there. Unfortunately for the AT, he was not able to do it. As we do have the cap, it is now 4-1 there for BST2. Great play. Completely removing the southern flank. Now Warhog, what can SCVH do to get back into the game? What do they have to do here?
Great question. This is it seems like, I don't know, their garrison placement just seems to be too far away from the point and too many open fields. I think their garrison is now, for SCVH, not even on the point itself.
We do have Recon now on board with the beard, with that nice beard looking helmet he's got. Already taken one out on point. Another bomb and run coming in, not very effective. Well, 2 or 3 kills with that. That's gonna be it from 501 ESBST2. Now, where do you put your garrison here if you're defending?
When it's your last point, I prefer the garrison placement where there's not exactly one on point, but you have kind of you can do a quad effect where you have one, if you were looking at the map and those boxes, one to the northwest, one to the southeast, and you surround the point with garrisons.
Yeah. I think yesterday, if we look at the factory over here with Whitman, that's where one of the defensive garrisons was, and then we had the other one across the street and a little behind, kind of in this little rubble pile over there. And that proved effective for a time. However, we do see now BST2501 just pushing straight into point with, again, the story of SCVH having, you know, more than one squad behind the lines here. Not really getting a cohesive attack with numbers together, more or less just having pockets of stragglers between the members of the other team.
Their defense needs to spread out. All of them sitting on point like that.
Where do you go though? Do you use the trenches here at the south? Do you go across the hedges, maybe to the north, further to the south using the trenches? What do you do here?
I would put a couple guys in those trenches to watch that area of approach. Even one guy could hold that down. Try and find a building to get up into with some binoculars, and then start pushing them off your point. You need to be aggressive on defense, especially when it's your last cap point. You can't sit there and wait for them to throw grenades at you, because that's exactly what's going to happen if they get close enough. We do have some guys that looks like they're watching the north side. There's a squad leader to the north.
Yeah. Crucially, the bombing run already came in from BST2 501, so that juicy, you know, saturated bombing run on point isn't going to happen for a little bit here at least.
That is a lot of guys on defense. It seems to be that.
We do have Recon coming in the back end.
Yeah, Recon has been harassing artillery for a while. I think he's going to try and set up a new OP. I think his snipers got killed.
Yeah, quite possibly did. This is exactly where the garrison was yesterday, between 116th and the core. That's where it was set up. So maybe Alfred there just going to look to see if they had a similar game plan, but it does not look like they did. Now, what do we have on the attack? Not too much as of yet. No garrisons on the back line, preferring to push from the old garrisons that they've had set up. As Alfred does not check the field before pushing in, missing an outpost from Gustav on the right side there. Unfortunate for him. He should have used his eyes, though. He would have been able to see that from a mile away.
Yeah. I don't know what he was thinking, if he was going to try and be a hero and take out a few people, but that's not his job. You need to, specifically in this game, you need to do your job. If your job is recon, stick to that. We all like getting frags, but it's more important that you stay alive, keep your OP up, and keep your sniper out there.
Crucially here, like you said, sending 1 or 2 guys can be a big difference on the southern flank, especially as Duel takes out 2 or 3 in a row over here. You know, and it's got to be too, like, if you got to watch, you know, you can't just be watching the guy in front of you when you're pushing up. If the guy in front of you is looking forward, you got to be looking somewhere else. Get busy somewhere else. Don't just look at his butt as you go by, because right there is a perfect example of it. As 2 or 3 go down, just kind of watching each other and following in a conga line there.
Is that recon up on top of a rooftop? I'm looking over at
On the right side here.
No, just to the left.
That.
See,
Okay, that's not recon.
Pan a little bit left. Right there.
Left.
His name is. Go back to the right. Sorry.
So we got Score over here. That's
near the church.
AT. No, that recon is not on a rooftop. He's in the field, but he's not effective there. Multiple members of SCVH have pushed past him, and it looks like he is redeploying to deal with that. All right, I do look like what I'm seeing. I do like what I'm seeing, excuse me, from SCVH here, finally pushing this factory. Now, this factory is a crucial defensive point, as it does have second floor vantages of the surrounding fields, and you can really help lock down this southern, southeastern point. However, it looks like everyone who pushed there was taken out very quickly.
If I was SCVH, I would try and take strategic control of that factory, with the second story windows being able to look out towards the south and the east.
Yeah. But unfortunately for them, Insomniac has other plans with the MG. He's going to need some help in that building, though, because if he's constantly in the window, he's not going to be able to protect his 6, as we see Green M.
Oh, here we go. Check this out. We're going to see Real M go in there and try and kill the MG.
Yeah, as you hear it from your right side. Yeah, he's down. Unfortunately for Insomniac there, he didn't have any support. That was a really good spot, though, and it's going to be a bad loss for 501ES BST2 as SCVH does push in there to that factory.
If I was a squad lead in this right now and I said, all right, my job is to take the next cap point, it's look at your map, tell your guys exactly where you want to go, and we're going to get there. And we're going to fight tooth and nail to get there, set up an OP. You know, sometimes it's not going for the Hail Mary all the time. Just make those first down yards, whether you run the ball or you go for a pretty far pass play. Just continue to move the chains. Creep in a little bit closer.
What we're seeing here from the map, and you can comment on this too, is I don't see any garrisons. It's kind of like after the last point, you know, the attacking aggressive nature in that pre-garrison setup has stopped in its tracks. And we kind of see like an aggressive blurb just kind of pushing across the map towards the defensive point here. I don't know how well that's going to work out for 501ES BST2, especially if SCVH are able to get, you know, some tanks in here. Though at the head of that blurb, it's got to be said, is a massive Tiger tank, so that's going to have to get dealt with.
I want to watch this go down.
Yeah.
Here we go, a little bit of combined arms. We got a engineer behind him.
And a hull gunner, which is nice to see. Can't say it enough.
Is that barbed wire man-made? They building fortifications? I don't remember barbed wire being on that road like that.
Yeah, that is man-made, so that is being put there. I don't know why they would go for barbed wire instead of Belgian gate, since it is in the road, you know.
Not only is it in the road, you can just go around the barbed wire.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
As we do see Rico pushing that building on the left side, looking to take out Gustav.
Turns into a minor inconvenience.
As he does take him out.
The Tiger's in a pretty good spot. His
He is.
flanks are covered.
I think he needs to push up though. His infantry has pushed past.
Not enough though. Like he needs.
Yeah.
I believe if he had more infantry behind him, he would feel more comfortable pushing up. He's
Oh, definitely
Yeah.
there. As you know, it's so back and forth here. As Renam takes out 2 on the south side. Let's go on board.
You know, Rambo. And he's
Yeah, he got gunned down pretty quick. We got a few members inside playing smartly, watching the doors. It's a tug of war right now, right on point. I can't really tell if one side or the other has an advantage. So, you know, 501 ES, you know, they get into good spots, but crucially, they can't back it up with numbers or violence of action. They kind of get bogged down and killed by grenades or get into prolonged gunfights.
Tiger Driver's doing a good job. He's letting that MG rip down that road and continuously he's splitting them. He owns that road.
Yeah.
That road is his. He said
this Sherman has a little flanking opportunity there. I don't know if he knows about it. He could sneak right through that he could even reverse and hit the Tiger on the side there. I don't know if he has an idea that he's there.
wow. What is that Sherman doing? This is the city. This is how it goes down. It's not
As we do have a bombing run coming in for SEVH towards 501ES's defense. Unfortunately, again, like is usual, doesn't do much. The Tiger is pushing in though. And crucially for SEVH, they don't have many people left on point. I'm counting 1. This is bad. This is very bad here. They have members on the flanks by their outposts, but crucially not on point. If Marinian and Xenon can get onto point and take this middle house, you know, SEVH may be in trouble.
Well, let's watch this. I want to see how this gunfight goes down.
As the Tiger does go down from another tank, possibly. Yep. Tank down the way. So it was a 1-1 trade. As the bombing run does come down and absolutely misses everybody. Oh no. We do have Marmion getting pushed.
There we go. Same building. Let's go. CQC, baby. He's about to get shot in the back.
That's what's happened a few times now, yesterday and today. We can't get shot in the back if nobody comes into the building to clear it.
Oh, he's running the STG.
He is.
Yeah.
As I say that, Jose Guerrero's pushing upstairs, and he's gonna get a free kill right in the back.
Dunsky.
Do you think that was a smart play from the Tiger there to push in without any infantry support like that?
No, not at all. That's why he got side-shotted. Where he was owning that road, he was doing his job. What was the purpose of that Tiger pushing up? The Tiger's like, yeah, I can just go push up, but why? Why do you want to do it?
So we did comment a little earlier asking what the heck the Sherman was doing. I think he heard you because now he is watching directly down this road here. Oh my god, absolutely
owning the road.
And
there's nothing you can do. You're not going to pin him from the front. He owns it. That's his.
He's blind firing as we do see one member of SEVH coming out to maybe hop in the hull gun. It's always nice to see.
Short bursts of machine gun fire from the driver. He can shoot for a pretty long time if he continues to do just little short bursts. Pop, 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 pop. Yep.
And as we see from SEVH there, I don't know if it's luck or if it's skill pushing onto the point, but they only had 2 members of point, and now they have, you know, a solid squad and 2 tanks. Though I am liking what I'm seeing from BST2. They've recovered. They've taken that factory.
Yep.
And they have a pretty good route onto point.
Get in that factory, get some OP set up, and let's push it. Let's get some squads coordinated efforts here. Yeah, I like to say that controlling a cap zone is a lot like a sinking boat. You can put tiny holes in it here and there, but they're gonna get plugged pretty quickly. But if you put one giant hole in it with a good sized squad that pushes all at once, hard to keep that boat from sinking.
We're not seeing that right now. They did it up to the
Once
factory, but they're
onesies
pushing
and
one or
twosies
two.
moving in.
Yeah, it is not very effective. And all that remains for attacking from SCVH is on this northern flank here. They don't have anybody on the back end of the point, anything.
Man, if only the 501st knew that they didn't have anyone on point. But yeah, they set up a good defense. I think they need to keep on doing what they just did. If it works, stick to that plan. This game, everybody says every maneuver they do is a flanking maneuver. It's not a flank unless you have a base. Otherwise, it's just an attack from a different angle.
I like that one. We do see only one member of BST2 501ES on point here.
Oh, here we go. They're 5 feet away from each other.
Yep.
They can hear each other's footsteps.
Kaipara looks like he's trying to crawl through the bushes. That's not going to work. Nope. Instead, he's just going to camp there.
If only there was local voice chat in this game. Where you
Local
could,
voice chat that permeates teams. That would be awesome, man.
yeah, that's what I mean. So you could talk to the enemy.
Rock, paper, scissors for who pushes.
I don't. Well, Joe's if
I
Jose's looking
think
at his map, he knows
Joseph's gonna
he's
get
surrounded.
killed here though, because he just killed Sonobin and he knows where he's at.
He knows
He's
he's
gonna get shot
behind
in the
enemy
back.
lines. Oh, did it again.
Yep. Whoever died to him the first time's bound to respawn and come back with a nade though.
I would call Commander up just for a bombing run. But hey, Commander, I got something you can waste a bombing run on. This time you'll actually kill someone though.
Oh, quickly though, as crucially, we do have an airhead on the back end.
Here we go.
So here we go. Crucially, when can SCVH realize it, and how quickly can they respond to it? Do you think this is it here? Do you think this is the last push, or are they going to be able to respond? As we do have a Sherman pushing straight to the airhead, but crucially, no infantry is responding to this. Oh, we do have a squad lead though on the north side.
That
They
area's
may know
gonna be
what's up.
overrun here shortly.
Yeah, Roger Whitman Scars has to play the play of his life. Now, what do we watch? Do we watch the airhead or do we watch the point? I think we'll go with the airhead. Tank versus infantry. And unfortunately for Rodrigo, he completely misses. He completely misses it. It's in the field. The Sherman's in a great spot to take it out.
He put his airhead in the middle of an open field.
Ballsy.
Oh man, that is a nightmare though. You have trenches you could have put it in. You know, I guess there isn't a whole lot of area, but. Ooh.
As that airhead does go down by the tank. Crucially for that tank, that airhead's down.
You have an engineer chasing the tank trying to put stats on it.
Yep. Part 2. We'll see how that goes.
Don't stop, Sherman. Run! Run!
Run for your life. We do have the commander, though, to lend some assistance. Magica here is going to have to be sly to get by 2 or 3 members. Oh,
There we go.
not sly enough. Who kills them in the end? Ah, it's commandos there. In the open field from behind. Good play there by SCVH. Now see, that's what you got to do to respond to these airheads. We didn't see that last week with PKKA in 1/16th, and I'm glad to see it this week. SCVH responding to that strongly.
Oh, when airheads go down, alarms should be going off like a nuclear air raid siren.
Yeah.
We need to respond to this now. Because potentially they could, you know, it looks like they spawned maybe 1 squad on it. They could have done 3, 4 squads. Yeah,
So
you can do whatever you want on an air. You could spawn your entire team, and it'll definitely shape the shift or
as we were
shift
talking about
shape
earlier, we
the
got
battle.
the run and gun MG42 Rambo with the Gluminola here. In point, in force with his squad lead force.
Here we go. Oh, Gluminola just sounds like a name of a Russian Rambo or a German
Oh, and
Rambo.
crucially, they find the garrison,
Oh,
and that's gonna be it for BS. For I don't even know, for SEVH on point. Oh no, garrison and some nodes there for measure. Now we're gonna see Gluminola go up this building. Hopefully, force there backs him up. And he's not gonna be able to see too much from that window, Gloomy. Crucially, force there, putting AT into the back of this Sherman here. Sherman has no clue. Force has no clue. Oh, and he wins the gunfight. That could have been crucial if only that crewman had looked to his left. As we
I
do
would
have
like to
Iro
see some
Chibi hop out
crewman
too, and oh
animations.
no, she goes down. We have an undefended tank now with AT right on top of it.
In my
Sorry there, what
opinion,
were you saying, Warhawk?
there needs to be some kind of animation made where I believe when the driver or gunners are jumping out, they don't just all of a sudden appear out of thin air in front of you. I've
Uh-oh.
tried to put satchels on tanks before.
Warhawk, that was all for naught as they do take out the garrison, but it goes right back up right away.
Oh,
So
wow.
kudos to SEVH there. Quick response to that garrison. And it looks like that AT didn't actually have anything to take out the tank with. So Chibi might be able to recover that with a quick respawn on that Gary.
Brought up another tank, got a 75. All right, they took control of that point again. Do they have an attack plan? What can we see on the map right now?
Yeah, we do see a garrison that's overrun. Right now, we'll be really quickly just shift our view over, and oh my gosh. Oh, it seems like we do have an attack plan going on right now. We do have supplies or something being dropped on the south side there with multiple members here of SEVH pushing towards the cap.
Lone engineer running around.
We do have the supplies there. However, those are 501ES supplies. Those are not SEVH supplies. As I don't see too much from this attack, honestly. Crucially, though, the squad lead did get through.
I would have sent my team to the main defense point and then pushed off that main defense point right to the next cap point. Not tried to do anything crazy other than overwhelm them with numbers, some good gunplay, and some tanks.
Uh-oh, that garrison that was there is down again, so Lazarus, excuse me, is going to have to place another one if he has supplies. As we did see quite an effective Artie for the first time, I believe, this game dropped in there. And he does not have the supplies.
Yeah, we can see in game chat too, Buena Esta Artie.
Yeah.
Good Artie.
Good
Yeah.
Artie. Finally, we see a nice Artie. And you know what? SEVH on the attack is too far off point to make a dent right now. So we'll focus here on the defense. And really, the next 5 minutes are going to be how quickly can they get the garrison back up on point? And can BST2 501 take advantage of that artillery strike and push in force point?
I believe that Tiger would still be alive right now if he didn't push up that far. He could still hold down that road.
As there we do see the supplies coming in, as Lanzareth is going to be wanting to get the garrison up, but we do have the commander, Fortis leader on the front line of his own attack. Excuse me, he's the only one who can push in and stop this right now. What do you think? As we do see the garrison go back
barbed
up.
wire over see on the north side there.
Yeah, some
of
good
these
barbed
defenses
wire.
did work.
Fortis is not going to be able to go around, but unfortunately for Lanzareth there, we don't really have someone on the backside defending, and hopefully Capiar is going to do it. If not, Fortis is just going to be listening to his squads. He's going to know that he can come in through the backside here, and he's going to know that that's where they're putting their Gary. So we'll see if he can follow the footsteps of his brethren there.
commander being that far up. Maybe
And
that's his game
leading
plan.
the attack for his troops. Look, you got 3 members of a squad. Portal might get an O-post up on this flank, and this might be really dangerous here for SEVH, as Fortis is on
Wow.
this garrison with nobody to defend it.
That commander's going all out.
Fortis leader leading from the front, paving the path for his team. Now, can they follow it up? Taking out Lanzerth on point. Now, this is trouble here. What can
What
SEVH
he's gonna do, that commander right now is causing SEVH to pull guys off the main point and prosecute him versus stay on defense. So now you have this, and they just took down an OP.
Yeah, an OP. I would be
around.
screaming at my squad lead, Portal AJ, get in here. It's clear. I've cleared it out. I'm on point. And as we say that, we are seeing cap progress on the last point from BST2 501ES. Great play from Fortis leader, leading from the front, taking out the garrison by himself. Now, again, what is SCVH doing? We got members of SCH on a failed flanking attack, more than 500 meters from point. They need to escape and fall back, because if SCVH doesn't get here quick, they're going to lose the game. As we do see a northern garrison also going up in just a massive blue wave from 501ES. You know what? I think this is it.
This is it. This is
SCVH
game. They're
is
spawning
not
back
here.
in main right now.
Yeah, we're gonna have to talk to Fortis leader after this one. That was an amazing play to win the game for his team.
It was. That was seeing the commander run in there, take down a garrison, and frag a guy in the building.
Crucially here, 6 or 7 members are gonna have to have the best fragging of their life if they want to stay in this game, and they are stopping progress. Hold the phone. We might have called that too soon. We have Ulfbear on the top of this building. He is one-manning it. He's going to get turned around and shot in the back if he's not careful, and that's exactly what happens. Yeah, he is dead. Great movement, great play from 501ES BTS2. We see a member get killed by artillery there. Cap progress is continuing.
If I was a squad lead, I would be push, push, push. Don't get bogged down.
And see, SCVH crucially does have that southern line, but it is contributing nothing to the force fight on point right now, and they are about to lose the game.
Yeah, we could see those blue dots just pouring in right now.
Yeah. And like I said earlier, I was waiting for that garrison to come up. If that garrison had come up 20 minutes earlier, the game might have been over already. They waited a mighty long time to get that flanking garrison up. And as
These
soon
2
as it
points
went up,
they are not too far away from each other too. For them to try and pull that flanking maneuver with that garrison, you said 500 meters away from their next point. I would have set up a good line, base of fire, and keep your plans simple, relatively simple.
yeah. As we do see a last-ditch attack coming in, trying to stall the point. It's not going to be enough. Cap progress stalled momentarily, but this is going to go to BST2 501.
Yeah.
Great job by them. Great job, Fortis leader commander.
They are pinned. And the referee can start his count. 1, 2, 3. Ding, ding, ding. That's victory. That's game.
GG.
Those were some good gunfights. We got to see some tanks duking it out. We saw 75 kill a Panzer, a 76 kill a Tiger.
Yeah, all
good.
around a great game. Stay tuned, guys. We're going to try to get Fortis leader, the commander, and the Rambo of that last heroic push onto point for the win from 501 ES BST2. So stay tuned, guys. We'll be right back. what a great game that was. Great dominating win there from BST2 501 ES. Warhog, what did you see during that game that stood out to you?
I saw some good fronts set up by each squad, and duking it out in the city. We saw some good gunplay, and we once again saw that that is one of those maps that armor can only do so much without infantry support.
Yeah, it's very true. As we saw time and time again, tanks pushing up past the infantry and getting absolutely shreked. Now, what do you think about SEVH there? What could they have done differently? We saw they lost that garrison a few times, and they ended up putting it in the same place. Do you think if they had moved the garrison maybe a little bit, that they would have been more successful in defending? What do you think about that?
They were also relying on one garrison versus having that setup where maybe we don't have a garrison on the direct point. Instead, we can have two or three set up around it, and now we can rely on OPs on the direct point. Um, but they went with one, and one is none, two is one sometimes. And once it got taken down, what do you do from there? Your OPs are gone, your garrison's gone. Setting it up in the same place, yeah, we're gonna move in there. It is a good place to set it up, but not over and over.
Yeah, no, agreed. I think they could have, like we were touching on, they did push and capture that warehouse, but they didn't put a defensive emphasis on it. At the end of the game, we saw their defensive line was way far behind that warehouse, and they had quite a few people, maybe even more than a squad. Now, if I feel like they had a garrison on the warehouse, and they also had a squad or maybe half a squad defending it, and then had the other half of that squad behind them, they might have fared a little better in being able to hold that flank, and then have that second garrison a little further back. Of course, it's just hindsight is 2020, and it's just speculation of what would have happened at this point. But it seems like having one garrison on the point wasn't very successful for them, especially after they lost it the first time. I would have thought they might have moved it maybe into the courtyard or somewhere else where it was a little less accessible, especially because we did comment on the barbed wire being so strong. You saw that the commander had to go all the way around the point. Now, if we're going to do that and make them go all the way around the point, why not put the garrison in the middle of the point where it's not easily accessible? Because all they had to do was go around the back, and he was right in there on the garrison. I'm not sure,
What
but it might have helped.
went around the back, jumped over the wall, got into the main house. Maybe they were hoping they weren't going to do that, but you can't just hope in this game. We maybe even had just kept the Sherman. Hey, we're going to keep one Sherman in the defensive posture to watch this north side because the north side was a pretty wide open field. Um, wouldn't have been a good play or one Sherman on that main road. But what I wanted to see from SEVH was okay, we're down to our last point. That's all right. I've seen games come all the way back from that last point. It's not over till it's over. And let's let's clear them off this first wave, and then push up as a unit, get them out of that city, and get to the next point. Um, but we just saw it seemed like they just got bogged down and held down, and they didn't continue to assault forward.
Yeah, true. As we do have Sergey is joining us shortly. He's just going to hop into the camera, and we'll get that set up for you guys. What did you see from 501 ES BST2 that you think tipped the scales in in this match, especially on the first couple points? Did they have something that stood out to you more than anything else, or was it just a combined effort from their team?
I think it was a combined effort. If I could have listened to their comms, I'm sure they were communicating a lot more. And because what seemed like they kept their plan simple, we're going to get into this first point, take it, and then we're going to move together onto the next point. Um, that's what worked for them, and they also had some, their garrisons weren't wazoo placements. They were strategic. They were close enough to the cat point and also far enough away that they weren't going to get taken out immediately.
Yeah, that's true. And we also didn't really see too much of an attacking presence from SCVH there, especially compared to their first game where they did, have actively attacking. And I don't know why that is. It always seemed like their attacking squad was, just a couple hundred meters too far away from the point than they should be. As we
Yeah,
got
it.
oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I saw a lot of guys seeming like the other, uh, they were going prone. The defensive teams were just prone, locked down, watching one avenue. You
Yeah.
got to be up and moving and shooting in the city. It's it's who can outfrag the other sometimes.
almost like their combat width also was too small.
Yeah,
I noticed that they they fell back to the point, they collapsed well and they defended, but after that they didn't spread back out again. After they kind of let 501 BST2 kind of crouch and get in closer, and every time they lost the garrison or they had to fall back, they just got closer and closer until at the end, they were all concentrated on point, and crucially nobody was defending their only garrison there. So yeah,
yeah. You have to understand it when it comes down to it. The attacking team, the attacking squad has the advantage because they get to decide when and where they're going to get into this gunfight with you. Defense, you're set up. Maybe you have some cover. Yeah,
yeah.
you sound great. Yeah, how you doing?
One sec, he's not on the live stream now. I'm gonna adjust the screen from really quick. So got that there, and then one sec here. So doesn't look like. Can you hear him coming through good? I don't see him on the screen.
I don't have the screen up right now. Uh,
Um, Give us 1 second, folks, to sort out this technical difficulties. We'll get Sergey from 501 ES in here to tell us about the match. So we can hear Sergey. Sergey, there. Sorry, we can't hear you. We just don't have your feed right now.
Oh,
Not too sure why.
give me a moment. Can you hear me now?
Can hear you. We don't have your video. 1 sec. That's my problem. But Warhawk, go ahead if you have any questions for Sergey here on the attacking team and the win today.
Hey, how's it going, Sergi? I'm Warhog. Was watching that game the entire time. I loved how you guys set up on that initial point, the train station. It seemed like you guys stuck to the plan of getting guys into that point,
Mm-hmm.
controlling it. You have to hold down the south side and the north side.
Yeah.
Were you guys when you were training for this event? Um, how many times did you train to hold down train station, or were you guys pretty surprised that it was train station?
No, we prepare for all 3 points, 3 middle points. So instead of preparing to hold the position itself, we focus a lot in the tracks and how to get to the positions, how to move through the map to get to the exact point we want. So uh, it's not that quite of holding the point, but surrounding it, getting people from all angles, and just focusing on it. You know, because they
Yeah.
can get 20 people on the point, but if artillery strike that down and get that off the map, you lose the point if you don't control the surrounding areas. You know?
Oh yeah, definitely. And I saw that you guys were, continue to assault forward. Seemed like
Yeah.
your game plan, not get bogged down. That's something we had talked about before. So the other team, unfortunately, wasn't assaulting you guys forward. How was your defense doing during that game? Were they having a hard time fending off?
For the most part, we have like couple of squad dedicated mostly to defense, although we are in a hybrid method at the moment, a hybrid strategy.
Hmm.
But the way that we have it, those two squads were pretty good the whole match, except for a couple incursions, if you could say, from the back. So yeah, for the most part, defense was good. We were focusing on the frontal assault, and from that point, since the front is so clear, the defense can focus on the back and eliminate the any enemy that comes from there, and they were just good all the match.
Yeah, that's no. You guys played an excellent game. Before going into this match, how much emphasis did you put on armor, if you put emphasis on armor at all in this match?
Well, we have very specialized tank commanders and tank crews that know their roles, and they are at all time communicating between themselves and with the with the rest of the team. So, for the most part, armor is very important at the moment with the meta of the game and all the changes that they are occurring at the moment. But most of the part, we just believe in our tankers. You know, they are specialized. They know very well the role, and they don't need a special attention on it.
That's
So
amazing. I like to play armor a lot, and I like to hear that from a commander. Let the guys do their job.
Yeah,
yeah, so I don't know if you've seen it yet, Sergey, but on the last point, your commander, like Braveheart, led the charge into point after dropping an artillery strike. It took out the garrison and then killed the squad leader that was going to be there to drop the second garrison. Did you know about that? And what do you think about his performance? That's Fortis leader, by the way.
yeah. Fortis, he's a good commander, man. He knows what he has to do, and he just move forwards the team with himself. He is at the end of the day, he's the commander in this match, so he needs to secure and just move forward and motivate the team in a way that everybody else just follows him. You know, I
Yeah.
was too focused in my area, just cleaning my position, so I couldn't watch that. I was south cleaning some enemies, but good for him. You know,
In
he always does some crazy shit like this.
and coming off this win, do you think this gives a motivation to the team, an enthusiasm to come into next week even stronger?
Yeah, definitely. Like we have our bye week, if I remember correctly, so we have time to prepare for the next match and the next couple matches. But yeah, this is a great win because we started the tournament with a loss against BR1 and
Mhm.
the line, but we have been stomping the last two matches, and that's pumping on the people. You know,
Yeah, for
that's
sure. No,
cheering.
you guys did really well, especially on the middle point at the start of the game. You know, you didn't rush it. You didn't just push in. You were losing cap, but your positioning was good, and you made sure you got into both positions on the north and the south side, and then just smothered them off the point. So really good
Yeah,
job, and congratulations on the win.
thank you, everybody.
Yeah,
Uh,
congrats.
Warhog, you have any more questions, or you good?
No, no, that was an excellent game. It was fun to watch,
Yeah.
and yeah, it was good to hear that you guys had some fun while doing it too.
Yeah, for sure. It's always about having fun
It is, and getting the wins. The
and
wins are
getting the
fun.
wins.
Those are a
Yeah.
bonus, like the icing on top of the cake.
I had one more question. How often do you guys train a week? How much training do you guys put into
Uh,
it?
at the moment, we change it for the HPL. We train conjoin, like the two
Yeah.
clans, 2 times a week.
Wow.
And then every clan is preparing for the match. So drivers do their courses and officers know where to put the garrisons. It's a conjoined effort throughout the week. We start Monday with the inscription, and then we go forward until the day of the match. Every moment training.
That's amazing. It's good to see it pay off.
Yeah,
Cool.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you so much for joining us there, Sergey, and congratulations on the win again. Thank you so much, viewers, for watching HPL Week 3 again. BST2 501ES coming out victorious with the 5-0 victory over SEVH. If you'd like right now, we're probably going to raid the BR1 channel because we have another game going on right now, as this was a kind of a double header. That game actually is just about to start, so we're going to raid the BR1 channel and watch that one. And that game is going between HL Tango and 20th PZG/Exodus. Now, interestingly, this is actually the first time we're going to see the combo team of 20th PZG and Exodus because they did forfeit their first game against Sturm Elite in week 1, and then they had a bye in week 2. So we're going to see what they have in store against Tango. Any takers, guys, right now while we're here? Sergey, who do you think is going to win that one?
it was Tango
And
against the
20th
20th.
PZG Exodus. Yeah.
Well, I'm kind of biased because Tango is Latin
Yeah.
America, and we have bonds. You know, a lot of players play in our servers, and they gave us quite a good match the previous game. So I'm going with Tango.
Tango. What about you, Warhog? Who do you think is gonna pull it out?
And I got to follow the guy who just got the win. I'm going to go with Tango as well. You know, you know,
20th PCG is untested. They're a combo team. I believe Exodus is a European clan that's very strong. So we're gonna see what they have in store because we haven't seen anything from them as of yet.
all right.
All right. Yeah.
Congratulations, Sergi.
Thank you for joining us, and we'll join that game shortly, guys. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.